Voïdomátis River in Epirus. Only 15 kilometers long, it's a smaller tributary to the Epirus River. We were looking for a break from the scorching August heat, and the ice-cold waters of the Voïdomátis were just the cure. Well, we're at the bridge at Szesztay, and this is the put-in for the rafting trip that we're going to be taking, and the water here is just absolutely incredibly clear. It's very cold, but that'll just make for a very brisk morning. After a safety briefing and introductions, we got in the water and began paddling. There's not much white in the whitewater on this river. It was mostly smooth as glass, and we settled into a nice, relaxing rhythm. Voïdomátis translates to Eye of the Ox, a reference to the deep blue color of that animal's eye. And it's as clear as the cobalt blue river where that name came from. I've rarely seen a river that holds this color, and it's the result of being fed year-round by mineral-rich underground springs. That's also why it's so cold. This water had been making its way through limestone filtration not long before we found ourselves gliding through it. The Voïdomátis River is a really mellow trip down the river in the summertime. As a matter of fact, I'm not even pulling my weight right now and nobody seems to mind. We moved through tranquil scenery that echoes with history that was the site of one of the very first Allied tactical victories of World War II, when the Greeks drove the invading Italians back into Albania. The current would occasionally speed up, and we'd negotiate a fun Class 2 that would wake us up with a splash of the brisk, clear water.
Got a little bit wet.
It was heaven. About halfway through, we got the opportunity to see the springs up close. Well, part of the excursion here is pulling over to the shore, and we're going to go see a natural spring here in the forest that we can drink the water from. We can drink the water in the river, and I tasted it. It's actually fantastic. Supposedly the water in the spring is even better. Before long, we were at the source of some of the purest tasting water I've ever had. The Voïdomátis River is not a snowmelt river. It's fed from underground springs all the way through these limestone cliffs. And the water is so fresh and almost sweet tasting. It's amazing. Oh my God, that is good. It's almost sweet. We headed back for some fun in the water. But at 39 degrees Fahrenheit, it was more like water torture. With our shared victory over the elements, we and our new friends were feeling like summer again by the time we reached one of the Epirus region's famous stone bridges that marked the end of our journey. As we felt the centuries melt away, the view from the water was spectacular. But there was one more bit of fun. A final chance to cool off a bit. Well, that was a really fun day on the river. I wouldn't call it an intense day of whitewater rafting, but definitely a lot of unique stuff about this trip. The springs and the dip in the ice-cold river. There's a lot that make this a really fun activity. I would say that trekking Hellas is hella fun.